Hello, my name is Grace, and this is my Bachelor's in Fine Arts of Dance Performance and Choreography. I've done it. I have completed college, free play unlocked, and it was not easy. I'm not gonna lie, it was not easy. And so I wanted to make this video today of some things that I wish I'd known when I started my college journey. If I had known these things at the beginning, then I would have been able to handle college so much easier. And so I now pass this on to you. And these are gonna be things specifically for dance majors. There'll be some advice that you might be able to take even if you're not a dance major, but this is mostly dance major specific. Oh, and if any of these are helpful to you, or you just enjoyed the video, or you like my new room, I'm in my own apartment now, please go ahead and give this video a like. And I have lots of other fun things on this channel. They're not all sit down talky like this. So why don't you go ahead and subscribe? I'll have some fun stuff coming out soon. So this is the first thing that everybody should know. No matter if you're a dance major or not, go to class. Especially if you're a dance major. It can be so easy to be like, oh, I have a 9 a.m. class. I think I'm just gonna skip it today. I'm gonna stay in bed, or I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. No, go to class. Class, especially for a dance major, is a huge part of your grade. I know for me at UMKC, it was like 50% of my grade. So showing up actually counts as your grade. You'll have your jury at the end of the semester, but you need to be there so that you can have a good grade. It keeps you in shape and strong, which you're going to need as a dance major. You will be dancing upwards of 3 to 4 hours every day. Every day. If you have ballet class and then modern class and then rehearsal, you could be dancing upwards of 8 hours a day, depending on how many classes and rehearsals you have. So going to class each day not only helps you to improve your technique, not only helps you to keep your technique intact, but it also keeps you strong and physically healthy so that you have the stamina to get through those 8-hour dance days. Your professor also will have consistency, and they'll be able to evaluate you and grade you and help you if they see you every day in class, because then they'll be able to see you improve. You can't just show up twice a week and expect to get better or to have the professor help you. If anything, the professor's going to pay less attention to you because you're not coming to class consistently. And then also, class costs money. Like each class, if you break it up for how much you're paying for it for the semester, each class costs somewhere between $30 and $50. So you're wasting either your money or your parents' money or the money that the university is loaning you by not going to class. So you might as well just go. It's an hour and a half. It won't be that bad. The next thing is don't go to class, which I know is contradictory to what I just said, but let me explain. Your mental and physical health always come first. It is not worth going to class if you're just going to look at yourself in a leotard and tights all day and hate yourself. It's not worth it if it's going to be a day where you only have negative self-talk. It's not worth it if you're dealing with an injury. You can sit at the front of the room and take notes, especially if you have an injury, if you have an ankle that's been acting up like I did, or a hip. You need to use that time to rest and heal. And I know it's going to be hard, especially if you're injured and it's like, oh yeah, it only hurts when I do this, so I'll just do class and I just won't jump or whatever. You need to be taking that time off of class so that you can heal quickly. It's better to take 6 weeks off than a whole semester, which I know happened to some people. So don't go to class if you can't handle it mentally or physically. But also be prudent engaging that. You can't just skip a class and because you woke up grumpy. You need to be able to be prudent so that you don't get burnt out and so that you do still end up going to class consistently and improving. The third thing is that you should audition for everything, and I mean everything. Faculty recitals, senior capstone, outside performances, guest choreographers, audition for everyone. I didn't, and that's one of the biggest regrets that I have from my college journey, is that I didn't think to myself, yeah, I could make this work if I were cast. And I lost the chance to work with some really cool people and do some really cool things because I thought that I wasn't good enough or that I didn't have the time. You should try auditioning for everything. And the audition day is gonna suck and you probably won't get cast in everything, but also you showing up tells the professor something. It tells the professors that you are interested in this, that this is something that means something to you, and that you're going to show up even if you can't make the rehearsals or you don't get casted. Just be sure that if you are auditioning for something and you can't be at the rehearsals, be sure to tell the professor ahead of time. Just because you don't want to go through the whole audition and then get cast and then have to tell the professor that you actually can't do it. You just want to avoid that mess altogether. The professors are thinking of something totally different, and they need to be able to just take you out of the equation first thing. The fourth thing kind of comes from that a little bit. Ask professors if you can be in their pieces. If you're not cast, or if there's like 2 rehearsals a week and you can only be in one, still ask the professor if you can be an understudy, or if you can only come to that one rehearsal and learn everything else off of videos. I was in so many pieces, even though I could only make it to one rehearsal, because I would be there at that rehearsal and then I would watch videos from the rehearsals that I wasn't able to be at and learn from that. And actually, you would actually have to learn from that though. You would have to come into the room prepared. You can't take that time to just catch up. You have to know what you're doing so that the choreographer and you can move forward. And understudies go in. If you really wanted to work with a professor or really wanted to do their piece, ask if you can understudy. Then you would still come to rehearsals, you would be doing everything in the back. Inevitably somebody gets injured or goes out, or people will decide that dance isn't their thing a month before the faculty recital. Whatever happens, understudies go in all the time. And if you have been there consistently for rehearsals, if you have shown up and know the choreography and have been doing it in the back every single time, the professor will notice that and they'll put you in. So it's always worth it to ask a professor if you can at least still be in the room. Otherwise, you're not going to get as many performance opportunities, unfortunately. And even if you do understudy and you don't end up going in, the professor knows that you're diligent. The professor has watched you grow and learn choreography, and they might cast you next time. The fifth thing, and the most important thing, is take care of yourself. You're going to hear this a million times. Your body is your instrument. You need to be in peak physical and mental condition so that you can do your best. You're not going to end up doing stuff like academic majors do, where you're studying or cramming for multiple quizzes a week. This is your class. Like, you going to dance and doing rehearsals, this is your schoolwork. So you need to make sure that you are doing well in time management, and that you are taking care of yourself physically and mentally. You should meal prep and meal plan. This is something that I didn't start doing until my senior year, and holy cow, I wish I'd started doing it sooner. Make something and make 1 or 2 or 3 dishes in bulk at the beginning of the week, and then have that ready to go after when you get home at 10 o'clock from your 9 o'clock ending rehearsal. Or if you have 5 minutes in between classes, make sure you have a snack or something that you can eat quickly and easily that will give you fuel and energy. Don't just eat just to eat, but make sure you know what you are fueling your body with, and that you are eating well with lots of fruits, vegetables, proteins, all of the things that you're going to need to fill yourself up and keep moving. And if you can't eat during class or rehearsal or in between because you know that'll make you sick, know ahead of time what you should be eating so that you have the energy to do well in class and in rehearsal. The other thing about food that I'll say is don't own a scale. This is the best decision that I've made for myself in my dance journey, is I stopped owning a scale. When I was in high school, I've talked a little bit about this on the channel long time ago. I might link it. I was obsessed with my weight. Obsessed. I would get so excited when at the end of the day I had lost 2 pounds of water weight. And when I moved to college, I no longer owned a scale, and that was the best thing that could have happened to me, because all of a sudden I became aware of my body. I became aware of becoming stronger, getting weaker, what's hurting, what might need a little bit more massaging or stretching, when I'm hungry, when I'm not hungry, when I need to eat more for fuel. I started noticing all of these things because I was no longer worried about a number on a scale. I was only worried about getting my body to work at maximum capacity. So it might not work for everyone, but if you've struggled with a number on a scale before, Do not bring a scale to school with you. It was seriously the best decision that I ever made for myself, and I highly recommend it to anyone that's had any sort of body dysmorphia in the past. Rest days are crucial. Have a day of the week, for me it was Sundays, where you don't dance, you don't exercise, you don't do schoolwork, and you just relax and you do something fun that you enjoy. Maybe you go for a walk, you play video games, you go get coffee with a friend. My days were Sundays, so I would go to mass, which was not only restful for me physically, but also restful for me spiritually, because I was filling up that cup. Choose a day or even just an afternoon where you just put all of that aside and you do something for you. That includes sleeping. Please go to bed. Your body needs sleep for it to heal and to grow and to get stronger, and you need to go to bed. I became a strict 10:30 at night lights out person in college because I needed that. That was something that I had to learn to prioritize. It does seem really tempting to go out with friends after your Friday night rehearsal or to spend all Saturday partying, but you need to know that sleep is just as important as eating and as stretching. Go to bed, please. I promise you are doing your body such a huge favor. And then this is also something that might be new to some dancers, especially if you've been like super ballet focused all of your life. Try cross training. Cross training could look like gyrokinesis, yoga, Pilates, taking walks. There's lots of other ways to exercise your body. I would just say be very careful with weight training, just because you might get bulky and that's not an aesthetic everyone likes. But if that's something that you want to do it. Do weight training, get swole. I love that for you. But moving your body in different ways, especially since a lot of those techniques work in parallel it's working the counter rotation of your hips, and it's making all of the little muscles that don't get as strong within a codified technique stronger. I love Pilates. Pilates is my favorite thing in the whole world, and I was very lucky that UMKC offered it as a class for a couple of semesters. So I got credit for my Pilates classes, which is amazing. So look into if your school has a weightlifting or Pilates class that you could get credit for as an extracurricular. It's a really good way to keep your body safe and healthy while toning it and strengthening it. See art. Go find your local art museum. Go to the theater, go to the ballet, go to the opera. So I'm very lucky to live in Kansas City, where there's a massive arts culture out here, which I'm so grateful for. And there's a magical little thing you can do with your student ID called Student Rush. You show up on the day of the performance. Typically it's 60 to 90 minutes before the show starts. And you walk up to the counter and you say, here's my student ID, I would like to purchase Student Rush. Student Rush works where they have all of the seats that have not been sold yet, they will sell to you for a discounted price. And I have seen some amazing shows with Rush. I saw Casey Rep do The Tempest for $10. I was in the third row center orchestra. It was amazing. I saw Swan Lake on Rush. I saw Carmen on Rush. I saw Giselle on Rush. I saw Mark Morris on Rush. I've seen so many amazing, really cool shows. Often it doesn't cost more than like $25, which theater tickets, especially for the places you'll end up sitting in, go for hundreds of dollars. So take advantage of your student ID and use Student Rush. Some places online will also do student discounts, so you can put where it says adult, senior, student. You can put yourself down as a student and get a discounted ticket price. And going to see art will be the best thing that you can do to broaden your horizons, especially if it's a touring group. There's so many things you can do as a dancer, so many things. You can dance, other than ballet or dance companies, you could dance for the opera, you could dance musical theater, you could do circus shows. There's all sorts of things that you can do. So going to see shows and seeing what you like will broaden your horizons, and you might discover something that you absolutely love. All right, my second to last point here is make friends who are not dancers. We love our dance besties, we love them. We also see them every day, and it can get really easy to just talk about dance drama. It can get really easy to talk about what's hurting this week, or how dare he not cast me, or I hate this teacher, she's annoying. You can just fall into this pit of negativity that only you and your dance friends talk about. Make friends that are not dance friends. I was really lucky to be involved with an organization called St. Paul's Outreach, the Catholic Campus Ministry, and I made friends with people who are in all different majors. And the thing that was uniting us all was that we loved Jesus. And that was one of the best things I could have done for myself, because I could step away from the toxicity that we all know and love of the dance world and go into something where I am loved not for being a dancer, not for my body, not for my technique, not for the way that my toe points, but for me. So hopefully you all will be lucky enough to find an organization like St. Paul's Outreach that you can call home, and that you'll be accepted for who you are and not what you do. But go find it. Find a club, find a discussion group. Go to a person, like a random person's party off campus. Obviously be safe. Go to honors events if you're in the honors college. Find friends who are outside of the dance major, because they will be your voice of reason. They will be your rest when you're going crazy with all of your dance problems. And then those are also the best people to invite to your performances. I always had a massive fan club of non-dancers at almost every single show I performed in, because I had made all of these friends that cared about me and were excited to see me doing what I loved. And then you bump up ticket prices, or you have people in the audience seeing really cool art. So make friends with people who aren't dancers. Obviously make friends with the people that you see every day also, but make sure that you know what sort of environment you're in and when you need to step out of it. The last thing I'll say, and this is something that I learned in my senior year, is that this is not it. What you're doing right now as a college student is 4 years out of your very, very long life, and probably your very, very long career. If you're going to school for dance in college, you have a massive starting out point. You could go anywhere. And maybe it's really devastating right now that you were not cast in that piece you really wanted to be in. Or maybe you just horrible on your jury. Maybe there's that person that got really injured, or maybe you got injured and had to miss a whole show or something. Whatever happens, know that this isn't the end. I was a freshman when COVID hit, and that really recentered things for me, of this is not the only thing that should be going on in my life. Know that this is a jumping off point. This is not the end. It is your beginning. I hope that helps. I hope that my ramblings make sense. I'm very, very proud of myself for graduating. And I really hope that this advice and these tips help you in your career as a dance major in college. I hope you all have a wonderful school year, and please be kind to yourself. Bye, and rue up!